Hello and welcome to another episode of Scratch22. My name's Sage, aka the Golf Hacker, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet here, guys. My first episode that I released when I hit 91, that was by far and away the best round of golf I've played in my life. Was much tidier than my normal rounds. 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later, sorry, I played another round and that went to the other end of the spectrum. I had a shocking day in the office. I felt I needed to release this now because that gives a lot better of a perspective of the type of golfer I am currently, or when I started at least anyway. I'm going to look to bring you weekly episodes from now on. I've had a lot of questions about what I'm doing for training, etc. If you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe, like the video, just comment down below, let me know what you want to see. But before I get rained on, let's head out to Cruise Hill, back to the first tee for the start of a horror round. So here we are back on the first tee at Cruise, and with a gallery full of spectators up behind me in the clubhouse, cream one straight down the middle, and at that point I'm feeling pretty good about myself, but as you can see, just second shot in, it completely turns to custard, and that starts what is just a terrible round for me. I wish I could reach out and give this fella a pat on the back right now, because he's got no idea what he's in for here. Chipping on there with a longish putt for bogey, or 6-footer-ish, left it to the right, so that's a double bogey to start us off. Straight to the second tee, and I whipped one straight out to the right, out of bounds. In my haste, I stopped recording and missed my scuff shot up the left-hand side of the fairway of the second hole. So here I am with my approach shot, missing to the left, into some rough, and there goes a nice little duff chip. Make amends with my next attempt and land it probably 8ish feet from the hole. Once again, just leaving the putt a little bit short, so have to tap in there. Par 3 now, and I've left myself a little bit of a draw, just too much, so I've got to chip up the side here out of this rough. Comes out quite nice actually, so I've got a shortish putt for par, but as I do so many times, leave it short. This one, nice little 4 call, as there's someone playing on the second green now, and they watch as I punch back out from the trees. Another shot sliding over the out of bounds trees, it's another penalty, so I have to reload here on the spot, and I hook this one out to the left into the trees. So this leaves a little bit of a look at the green if I can go over the trees, but instead I go straight out right and go out of bounds again. So we'll call that a double bogey, sorry, quadruple bogey even. So we're on to the next tee. I hook this one just a little bit left, leaves me about 180 yards in. I use the 7-iron here, and I've hooked it left into the bunker. Yeah, got a bit of work to do out of bunkers clearly, well, and the rough too. You'll notice I haven't actually got the scorecard up in the right hand corner for this one. I felt it possibly wasn't necessary because it wouldn't really give you any context to the types of shots I was playing, because I was very rarely hitting greens. I was hooking and slicing shots all over the place. So I've just gone for a shot counter instead, and that will give you a bit of context as to how you can tick up a score of 105 very quickly. 105 once upon a time for me, you know, I wouldn't be that unhappy with. You know, as bad as, oh, here we go, this was terrible hole. I've got a little putt in here, it leaves me a gimme. Oh crikey, how do I turn this thing off? It was a gimme, alright. Quadruple bogey, on to the next hole. Sorry, as I was saying, once upon a time, you know, when I very first started playing golf, 105 I'd be reasonably happy with. I suppose after playing a lot more regularly over the last year or two, a par score for me, as I said, I think sits sort of, or when I started this journey, a par score would sit sort of around the mid to late 90s mark. So out to 105, you know, was a little bit disappointing for me. But as I said, important to show this round now, because I think it gives it a bit more perspective as to the type of golfer that I am, or the type of golfer that I'm capable of being on a bad day near the start of this journey. So here we are playing down the 8th. and I roll that one in for my 54th shot. Number 55 goes smack bang straight into the tree, so my 56th will be chipping it out. And I'm not actually too unhappy about that result. Yeah, I'll take it. So we're heading back down the fairway now, out of a bit of a rough lie though, and I've put this one slightly right, so it's a bit of a rough lie again that I'm heading out of, and I shank it a little bit to the right. So I've got a chip onto the green now with my 59th, and it does actually land out on the right side of the green. I missed that putt to land it just short of the hole, so I take my 61st into the hole, and that's a 61 on the front nine, which is probably my worst ever front nine at cruise, I'd say. I thin this one, but with the green sitting down below, sets me up with a birdie putt, which lands agonisingly close to rolling in. Would have been the silver lining on a very, very dark cloud. Here I am on the 11th, driving one out into the tree, so once again I'm punching out for a look at the green. This is about 160 yards out, 7-iron once again, just a little bit too much draw on it, so it lands just off the fringe on the left hand side of the green. Get out the putter, and pretty happy with that result, so I've got to tap in there for bogey. This hole has some bad omens for me now. I've shanked a few out here to the right, so never really feeling that good on this tee at the moment. Something I'm going to have to visit with Gary, I'd say. So my second reload off the tee, my third, I've landed it short of the creek there, which set up this, after a chip there to lay up, I've set up this 9-iron into the green, and probably the shot of the day for me right there. Sets up this putt, which can I make? Yes, I can. A little applause for my double bogey there, which is saved after shanking one off to the trees. So now par 3, I've hooked this one around again. It's landed just to the right of the green, saved the bunker, which left that little chip onto the green. Another sort of 8-9 footer, which I leave short, so it's another tap in for bogey there. Another drive pushed into the trees, which will set up yet another punch out. I've almost got a degree in these punches out from the trees by now, so I expect to see some quality shots out of the trees there. This one I pull and just push a little bit further than I'd hoped. Sets up a putt onto the green, a chip onto the green for this putt here, which I managed to roll in. Here we are, the final par 3 on the course, pitching wedge in hand, hit it nice and straight, but just started right and stayed right. So I've got 8-iron in hand again to try and get it down onto the green. It goes quite far out, land that one close, so it's another tap in there for bogey. You know the drill, push the drive out, punch out from the trees, but then I've got this 6-iron in hand. I've got about 190 and try to go soft at it and land it on the green. I've thinned that one a bit there, but I managed to get a bit of a result, so it sets up a long putt for par, which just is pulled to the left, and here we are with a roll in par. Pretty chuffed with that after the start. I'm not sure what happened there. It was big up and under out to the right. Again, I can't get past the tree, so I'm punching out onto the fairway. Sets up this pitch in from about 90 yards, which I leave short. 8-iron in hand, and again I push it further. I've had a recommendation to start using the pitching wedge from those sorts of distances, so I'm going to implement that over the next few rounds and see how that goes. Final tee now. Once again, you know the drill. It's not a push out into the trees, it's a hook this time to the tree, so I've got to punch again. Despite having a degree in punching, this one doesn't even make it to the fairway, so I'm pitching that out from a bit of rough, which I take a nice big divot from, leave it short. So I've got this little chip onto the green, roll it on. Can I make this final 8-footer? No, I can't. It's another tap in. So there we are. That's 105 for you at cruise. So that's it for this week's episode, guys. If you've managed to stay with me for all 105 shots of that, thank you. I appreciate it. I salute you for that. Next week, I'll bring you some insights from my second lesson with Caroline, and coming up, hopefully I'll have that round with a scratch golfer so we can see how much work I really have to do. I think that's about it. Is there anything else?
Like and subscribe, baby.